Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you. I hope you're enjoying Ramadan with the short days and long nights. Fasting is a breeze nowadays, and we're already into the end almost of the first week of Ramadan. So let us continue for the pleasure of God. And today, I want to continue our discussion on the Quran in dialogue with other faiths. Today, we're dealing with the seventh topic, which is what makes us human. Like, what is it about human beings? You ever wonder about that? Like, what makes us so special? And think about the world. Imagine a world without human beings. What would we have? We'd have the lions eating the lambs. We could have big fish swallowing small fish. What difference does it make that human beings are on this planet? So let's turn to the Quran for guidance on that. Opening the Quran, I would go to Surah 17, which is known as the Surah of the Night Journey, Surah Al-Isra. So here, Surah 17, verse number 70. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وَحَمَلْنَاهُمْ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ وَرَزَقْنَاهُم مِّنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَفَضَّلْنَاهُم عَلَى كَثِيرٍ مِّمَّنْ خَلَقْنَا تَفْضِيلًا. So let's read the English translation. It says, indeed, we have honored the children of Adam, carried them on land and sea, granted them good and lawful provisions, and privileged them far above many of our creatures. You notice that there are four things here mentioned about human beings. One is that God has honored us human beings. Two, that he has carried them on land and sea, which seems to have some relationship with our travel on land and sea. And third, granted them good and lawful provisions. And four, privileged them far above many of our creatures. So let's take these four items one at a time. One, God dignifying the children of Adam. So this dignity and this honor that we're talking about means that human beings have a special place among the creatures, and human beings can have this sort of self-respect. You know, when a person says, I don't do certain things, that means that the person has a certain degree of self-respect that says, no, it'll be below my dignity to do those things. And God has caused us to travel on land and sea. Now, of course, we know that there are animals who can run faster than us on land, and the fish swim more effectively than we can in water. But God has given us the ability to develop technologies that will allow us to traverse outer space and also to plummet the depths of the oceans. So this is really a favor from God. Human beings are special in this way. Third, he has granted us good and lawful provisions. Now, of course, we've spoken about the animals, eating each other, swallowing each other, but God has given us good things to eat, for example, fruits and vegetables, so that we do not need to harm creatures of God, and especially should not be harming other human beings. And finally, God has preferred us or given us privileges over and above many of his other creatures. So why does it say, many of the other creatures rather than all of them? Probably because the angels are by definition excluded, and God knows best. God knows best about all of the creatures that he has out there and how we fit in with that grand scheme. But here on earth, human beings seem to be preferred over all of the non-human animals. So these are some of the ways in which human beings are special according to the Quran. I want to turn to the Bible as well and see what it has in store for us there in terms of the special place of human beings. In the first book of the Bible, called the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse number 26, it says, "Then God said, let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the wild animals of the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." So, God created humankind in his image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. So you see, according to this, God created human beings in his image. And that obviously would have to mean something like God has created us with those kinds of qualities which might be described as the positive attributes of God, things like compassion and mercy and forgiveness and so on. So those are the attributes that we have or should develop. And then if we turn to the New Testament, we find also that there is mention of God giving special privileges to human beings. Ephesians chapter 4, verse number 22. You are taught to put away your former way of life, your old self, corrupt and deluded by its lusts, and to be renewed in the spirit of your minds, and to clothe yourself with the new self, created according to the likeness of God in true righteousness and holiness. So you see here too, we have the depiction of human beings as being created in the image of God. And that is the image that we should adopt for ourselves and train ourselves to fall into and to be molded according to. And now we see then that the Quran is in harmony with these teachings from the Old Testament, book of Genesis, from the New Testament, the book of Ephesians, with the caveat that the Quran does not describe human beings as being created in the image of God. Why? Probably because this idea of human beings being in the image of God have been turned around, and human beings started to imagine God in the image of human beings. In other words, they started to anthropomorphize God, thinking of God as though he looks like human beings. And so the Quran refrains from that, but nonetheless, the Quran also insists that we should develop the positive attributes of God and acquire those in our own lives. So what does it mean for us today? It means that we should, on the one hand, consider ourselves to be special as creatures of God, but special among the creatures. And that does not mean that we lord it over other creatures, but it means, one, we recognize our own dignity. So there are certain things that we don't do just because we're human beings. And two, we utilize the technologies that God has put at our disposal or has inspired us to develop. And we use that for the sake of God and in the name of God, whether we're traveling into outer space or we're diving deep down into the oceans. We should always remember God and his bounties upon us. Third, we should be eating lawful food and good things, not eating foul and coarse and gross things, but we should eat that which is halal, tayyib, that which is permissible and clean and good. And fourthly, we should recognize and give thanks for the fact that God has given us so many bounties and privileges over many of his creatures. Now, as we think about the wider implications of this, we've spoken about the possibility that a world without human beings would have the lions eating the lambs. But now with human beings in the world, can we do better than this? Think about the bombs that dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Think about the recent genocide in Gaza and the ethnic cleansing in the Sudan. What does it mean for human beings? Like, what are we reducing ourselves to? Are we like big fish swallowing small fish? Or can we live up to the name of human being? As we think about traversing the sky and swimming in the oceans, can we think about walking on the earth as dignified human beings? Let us move away from this now, move on forward from this, and give the message about the uniqueness of human beings to our fellow human beings, starting during this month of Ramadan. So take a moment to chat with your coworker, your classmate, your neighbor, a friend. Maybe somebody is visiting the mosque, or they're joining you for iftar, or a late night snack on a night of Ramadan. Share with them this message about the uniqueness of humanity. And join me again tomorrow when I'll talk about the sin of Adam and how do we make our way back to heaven, to the Garden of Eden. And so join me tomorrow, please. Peace be with you and the mercy of God. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome to Muslim Media Hub, the new home of Let the Quran Speak.
Here we spread positivity and good. We help people experience the beauty of Islam and help them appreciate and understand Muslims.
This beautiful building we purchased at cost $2.3 million.
Yeah, we've already raised a third of that money, and with your help, inshallah, we can pay off the rest.
So we're looking for people who can give $1,000 each. If you can be part of the select group, that's amazing.
Otherwise, just please give whatever you can. Every dollar counts.
It's our collective responsibility to share the message of Islam with our fellow human beings. Please help us continue this good work.
It's a sadaqah jariyah, something that will continue to be a benefit to the Muslim community long after Safiya and I are gone.
Please support our work at muslimmediahub.com.
Your support is zakat eligible and tax deductible.
May Allah bless you and your loved ones today and always. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.